Hey everybody, welcome to today's Daily Dose of Awesome. Today we're going to talk about how to create unshakable confidence and how to become unstoppable. Because if you don't have confidence, well, you're going to have a hard time creating a big following, getting people to follow you, creating an audience, and getting people to say yes to you. But at the same time, when you have confidence, you truly do become unstoppable because you become more influential. People will say yes to you more eagerly and more cheerfully, and you'll just feel better about yourself when you with everything that you do, with all your projects and everything that you approach. So in my opinion, confidence is huge. Even when you're working alone, writing emails or creating ads or creating blog posts, you got to have confidence in yourself. And I'm not talking about the kind of confidence where you get up on stage and jump up and down, and beat yourself in the chest and have a big ego. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just internal confidence, internal power that you can get the job done. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to create that unshakable confidence and that belief in yourself. So welcome to the live, everybody. My name is Vitaly Grinblat. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a chief copywriter here at Elite Marketing Pro. So hey, Karen, Catherine, Thomas, Eric, Wendy, how are you guys doing? Great. So we're getting people live. So let's talk about how to create this confidence. And I got three things for you. There are scores of books written on this topic, and there are many blog posts, and I'm sure you can go search online. You'll find all kinds of stuff on how to create confidence. But I'm going to give you three specific things that I know work for me. Okay. So, and I'm going to tell you three quick stories to illustrate those points, if you guys are ready. All right. So let's jump into it. So the first one is years ago, way back in 1995, I was 19 years old. I got started in direct sales, and it was with a financial services company. So imagine 19, I'm going to be going to sit down with people who are twice, sometimes even three times my age, to talk to them about their financial future, about money, about finances, about getting out of debt, college planning for their kids, retirement planning. And there I am, I'm 19 years old, okay, talking to people who are twice and three times my age. So clearly I had to have some confidence to even approach people in order for them to open up to me. And so I remember, now I didn't really have the issue with that, but in my mind, I knew that they had an issue with it. So I guess there was this conflict inside of me, like I'm confident because I know what I'm talking about because I went through this training, but I'm not confident that they're going to be confident in me, if that makes any sense. And then I remember one guy got up, and he was pretty successful with the company, and he said, competence breeds confidence. And I wrote that down, and that stuck with me for basically forever, okay? That if you want to get confident, then become competent. Because when you become competent, that immediately elevates your internal belief in yourself and what you're capable of doing. Because when you know that you know more than the other person and that you can help them with whatever, okay, it doesn't have to be what I was doing, financial services. It could be marketing, it could be anything. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Then you have that confidence, and that comes out of you, right? That translates in how you talk and how you behave, and in your posture, in your body language, in your tonality. So competence breeds confidence. So quick story. Years ago, this is right around that time, back in around 1997, I was in the business for a couple of years. And in fact, I was still part-time in the business. And I remember I bought a mattress from a guy from a furniture store who was just like the perfect guy as far as like getting somebody like that into the business. Of course, you're supposed to prospect everybody. So I didn't approach him immediately because having face-to-face conversations was always an issue for me. But what I did was I called him back and I said, hey, Rick, remember me? I bought the mattress for you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, and I gave him my script. Okay, I think you're a tremendous salesperson. You got great people skills and all of that. And, I'm expanding my business. I'm looking for some key people. You guys know the script, right? You guys know how that goes. And so he said, yeah, let's sit down. Now, this guy was in his late 40s. I'm like 21 at the time. And so we sit down. I show him what I do. And he's like, wow, this is great. In fact, he says, you really ought to come over to the house and meet my wife and talk to us about these products that you have, these services, because we need some help. I'm going, awesome. Okay. So we come over. I come over to the house. And we sit down, and it didn't happen right away. I mean, it's like over a period of a couple of months. And after a couple of meetings with them, basically they became one of my best clients for as long as I stayed with that company. He joined the business. He introduced me to a ton of people. He opened up so many doors for me, and I was able to get a lot of referrals from that and recruit a couple of people that opened up more doors. I mean, that one connection was worth six figures for me. But here's the thing, okay? Here's why I'm telling you all of this. When we first met, okay, with his wife, he told me, like the next week, he said, my wife was very skeptical. And she said, how are we gonna turn our finances over to this 21-year-old kid? But after meeting with me and talking with me, she was very open and they became great clients. It wasn't an issue. Like age didn't matter. Why? Because I was competent. And him telling me that basically kind of reaffirmed that belief. So competence breeds confidence. If you're not sure how to write ads or how to write emails or how to create blog posts and you're told that, hey, you're supposed to do Facebook Lives and teach other network marketers how to do this business. Well, you know what? There's an easy fix to this, or I should say simple, not easy, but there's a simple fix to this. Get good at it, okay? Just get good at it. Go read some books, go read blog posts, go attend trainings, listen, go practice and master your craft. And if you're better than most of the people out that you're talking to, okay, if you're even slightly better, then you have something of value to share with them. That alone should give you confidence in you being able to stand up and lead others, okay? So competence, very important. I'm very big on that. Everything I've ever done, I always approach with a mindset, hey, I'm going to get good at this. I'm going to become the best at it. I'm going to become competent at it. So competence breeds confidence. So that's the first thing. Next thing is, it's pretty simple, and yet I think most people, or maybe not most people, but a lot of people don't value it enough or don't give this too much thought, is preparation, okay? Whatever you want to do, you want to prepare yourself for the project, for the meeting, for the call, for doing Facebook Lives, for speaking on stage. You know, Jenny Stevens, our community manager, she did an awesome daily dose of awesome, awesome daily dose of awesome. I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago, about being able to do something last minute, like get on these Facebook Lives and just do something last minute. Okay. I think that's great. When you have enough experience, you can do that. The problem is that if you don't have enough experience, it may be a struggle for you to do this at first. So I think you ought to prepare, okay? Of course, if I was asked to do this last minute, I could also fire up the computer, hit the go live button and do this because I have enough in my head to share and it would be valuable for people. And I've done this enough times. But I assure you that I don't do that because when I know that I'm scheduled, I always prepare. I take some notes, I give some thought to what I want to talk about because I want to make sure that in these 15, 20 minutes that I speak, I deliver value that impacts people, that you're not just wasting your time sitting here listening to me. So I always prepare. That preparation gives me confidence. It gives me internal belief that, hey, you know what? I can do this, right? Same thing with speaking on stage. Same thing with writing a blog post. Same thing with creating ads. If you prepare, let's talk about ads for a second. Before you sit down and write an ad, or an email or a blog post, you know what you should do? And I've talked about this before, but you should mentally prepare. It's kind of like if you go to a gym, if you go work out, you're not just going to go hit the weights immediately without warming up first. No athlete ever hits the field, whether it's the tennis court or football field or an ice hockey ring, and without any kind of warm-up. So they do warm-ups, even professional athletes, to warm up their muscles, and then they get going into the game. It's the same thing with creating, marketing, and advertising. Before you actually sit down and write something, you got to mentally prepare yourself if you want to be any good, if you want whatever you're writing to be any good. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time gathering your thoughts. So I'm not going to get into mental preparation right now. I've talked about that before in previous Daily Dose of Awesome lives. But I will tell you that preparation is very important. And so if you have a call, if you have a Zoom chat with a potential prospect, prepare. That'll give you confidence. Do your homework. Find out a little bit about that person. Do your due diligence. This way, when you get on the Zoom chat with them or on a Skype call with them or on the phone with them, if you're prepared, they will know and they will sense that. And you will be confident when you're talking to this person. If you're writing ads, like I said, mental preparation, emails, blog posts, Facebook Lives, prepare ahead of time. This will give you confidence. So quick story on that. Around the year 1999, 2000, I just went full-time in the business. Actually, I went full-time in 1998, so this was probably 1999 then. And I got a lead. Again, this is my old direct sales financial services business. I got a lead for a prospect who was looking to invest a large amount of money. She came into some kind of settlement. It was about $250,000. And so I called her up, and so this is 1999, so I'm like 23 years old, right? Still pretty young, more competent, more confident, but still pretty young. And she's like 52, 53 years old. And so she came into this large sum of money and she wants to invest it. And she told me on the phone, she goes, before I meet with you, I just want you to know that I'm meeting with all these guys from Merrill Lynch and Payne Weber and these other big financial firms. And so I just want you to know that. And it's actually great that she told me that, because it made me made me prepare more. It made me do more due diligence. It made, I had to think about how my strategy, how I'm going to share, how I'm going to prepare or present everything to her. And so long story short, when we met several times, met with her kids. She did end up giving me the business, and she stayed my client for a long time until I basically left the business. But she said, why? And I was ready for this question. See, this is part of the preparation. She said, I'm meeting with I've met with 5 or 6 other guys, and they're all my age, and they all have 20, 30 years of experience. And you're pretty young, so obviously, maybe you have some experience, but definitely not 20 years. So why should I do business with you? In fact, she said, one of the guys, he said, I've been doing this for 25 years, and why are you going to go give your money to some kid? And here's what I came back to, because I was prepared for that. Here's what how I handled that concern. I said, that's great, and you're absolutely right. However, I said, this guy who's in his 50s, where is he going to be 15 years from now? Is he still going to be actively doing the business 10 years from now? Or what is he going to be doing? And then I'm still going to be around, which I was. At that time, I was still around. And actually, I was still around until she retired. So that, in her mind, that answered her question. And that basically set everything else to rest. And she ended up doing business with me. There were other, of course, concerns too. And so there was, like I said, a lot of going back and forth. But the point is that I was prepared. And that preparation landed me a $250,000 sale, which is no small feat, especially at that time when every penny counted for me. So that's the second thing, right? So competence, preparation. And the third thing that I know for a fact will give you a big boost in your confidence is doing a little bit of public speaking, which is something that you got to, for most people, step out of your comfort zone in order to do that. Maybe get on Facebook Lives, which is the second best thing, but actual live public speaking is even better. And this is a fear that a lot of people have. A lot of people have fears of getting on stage and talking in front of a group of people. And I certainly had that fear. And I remember, because I'll never forget this day in 2000, when things started happening for me in my old business, and I won some awards. And we were at a leadership retreat, a leadership conference in Chicago. And I was supposed to speak for 2 minutes. They told me ahead of time, you're going to be one of the 3 or 4 people that get a 2-minute speaker spot where you get to share, what you've done and blah, blah, blah. So I knew this ahead of time, and I'm worried. I mean, we're staying in a hotel, and the night before, and I'm like, I'm sitting there writing out, what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say, because I've never spoken. There was 400 people in the room, and I've never been in front of that many people at that time. I even had a hard time getting up in front of people in our office, which had only maybe 50 or 60 people. That was tough for me, but 400 people, that blew me away. I mean, I was really nervous. And so Saturday, unfortunately, they said that our speaking spot was going to be Saturday afternoon after lunch. And so I spent the entire Saturday morning session not paying attention to anything the speakers were talking about. I was just thinking about those 2 minutes and how I'm going to get up and talk. And so I got up. I mean, there was no backing out of it. I got up, and everything that I've rehearsed and prepared, I completely forgot. But I got up there, stood behind a stand, and just spoke. But because of preparation, which obviously was kind of already in my head, I spoke, and it was fine. I survived, and that nervousness was gone instantaneously almost. And I remember right there on stage, I had this feeling like, wow, I can do this. I could really get up and talk in front of a group of people. And there were 400 people in the room. And I have no idea what I said. But the point is that moment, something happened. It was 18 years ago. Something shifted internally for me. And from that moment on, I never, ever had a problem getting up on stage doing, or at this point, doing Facebook Lives or whatever. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't prepare, or that doesn't mean that I don't have any kind of nervousness or anything like that. I mean, sure, if I have to go and speak in front of a big group of people, I mean, I got to prepare and, get mentally in that frame of mind and all of that. But I'm not afraid. I don't have this nauseating feeling that, oh my God, I got to get up and speak. It was gone. It vanished. Prior to that, I had a really, really tough time. I mean, I was really afraid, physically, emotionally, I was afraid of getting up on stage. That gave me confidence. I used that experience as I bottled that experience and use it as, I guess if you call it an anchor, that every time I'm faced with something where I could use a little boost of confidence, I think back to that, okay? So for me, it was public speaking. Maybe for you, it could be something else. Maybe you've done something in your life where you've overcome an issue and you were confident, you were super confident in that moment. Go back to that time, use that experience and relive that moment and bring it into now and use that to give yourself the confidence boost that you need. But I'm telling you, for me, it was public speaking. So if you have a chance to go and talk to a big group of people, do it. And then use that experience later on to give yourself a boost. So those are the 3 things that have helped me to gain more confidence over the years and really, continue to have that confidence and build on that, which is competence, preparation, and just being able to get up and talk in front of a group of people, do some public speaking. All right, try that out and let me know how that goes. All right, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Just going to check this really quick. Take a look at the comments here. Yeah, prepare, have bullet notes. Absolutely, Courtney. Hey. All right, cool. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Let's go and kick some butt and let me know if any of these tips helped you gain more confidence. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.